Hello and welcome to Fantastic Friday. Or I guess, well, realistically it's Good Friday, but I'm a Jew, so it's Fantastic Friday. And this is our second Fantastic Friday here on the Son of the Morning Comics channel. We don't have anything new to review, so we're taking, a trip back to the past. And on Fridays, we're going to be looking at some Fantastic Four books and just revisiting them, reviewing them, all that kind of good stuff. So on the docket today is Fantastic Four number 5. This is the first appearance of Dr. Doom. Not the greatest condition overall, but a very valuable book nonetheless. And so it doesn't really matter that it's not in the greatest shape. But obviously we won't be using this book to do the review, because that would be insane. We'll be using the omnibus, which this one being the first volume of the Fantastic Four omnibus. Alright, so here we go. We have the first appearance of Dr. Doom. Like I said, funny how on the cover it says Meet Dr. Doom, but in the inside of the book, the title is Prisoners of Dr. Doom. Nevertheless, Dr. Doom, we see him here. He's got his little pawns that are the Fantastic Four. Very cool stuff. Obviously, this book is by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, not surprising, as they did the first 100 or so Fantastic Four books. So, Dr. Doom wants to get the Fantastic Four, and, he wants them to feel his might. So, he's gonna go after them. And so here we have the Fantastic Four. I love this page here. I think this is absolutely awesome. For starters, to point it out, the Fantastic Four Tower is just called the Tower. It hasn't been called the Baxter Building just yet. At this point, I don't even know if they're calling it New York yet either. I think it was called Central City or Center City or something like that in the first, I don't even remember, but absolutely love the fact that Johnny Storm is reading a copy of the first Incredible Hulk, and he goes to the Thing and he says, look, he kind of looks like you. And so the Thing grabs it out of his hands, and then the Human Torch says, if you want it so bad, I'll warm it up for you, and burns a book that would be worth thousands and thousands of dollars right now. But I just think that it's funny that, he even says it's like a comic book, and, I'm pretty sure later on, at some point they're gonna meet this guy, let's say issue number 12, for instance. So, Johnny and the Thing get into a little fight, as they often do. They like to yell at each other, and they're always wanting to scrap. Reed ties up the Thing with his stretchy ability, and Sue doses Johnny to calm the situation down. Then the lights go out, and all of a sudden there is this huge web or net dropped over the Baxter building. Sorry, the tower. The tower. They look up, and there's a shark-looking helicopter in the air. And a voice comes from it saying, Fantastic Four, heed my words, this is Dr. Doom. Sue wants to know who Dr. Doom is. Reed recognizes the voice, and he realizes that this is the same person that he went to college with. His name was Victor Von Doom, and he was obsessed with sorcery and black magic. and that one day one of his experiments went too far, and he ended up basically blowing up his face, and as well getting expelled from the course. And Reed mentions that the last anybody'd ever heard of him, that he was traveling in Tibet trying to find more magic secrets and become a sorcerer and all of that sort of stuff. So here we have Dr. Doom, and he's saying, "You are my prisoners, all of you. If you wish me to spare your lives, you do exactly as I command." And so what he wants is, basically he wants Susan Storm to be his hostage, and he wants the other three to do his bidding in order to get her back. And so he asks them to send up a flare if they accept this, and they do. They send out the flashing 4 sign, and then Sue, after he opens up a piece of the netting, Sue climbs up to the top of the building, and she's ready to be taken hostage, but she's thinking to herself, "But you shall live to regret defying the Fantastic Four." So the second part of it here, these guys are still stuck behind the netting here. Sue is now hostage, and now Doom is saying that he wants the rest of the Fantastic Four to join him on his helicopter. So they go to the roof, and he sets down this more netting or a cage or something. And the comments here, "Holy smokes, Reed, this Dr. Doom character must be a real wizard at inventing things." And Reed says, "I told you, he's an evil genius. We must never underestimate him." And so, Dr. Doom's helicopter is a super-speeded Dr. Doom, or a super-speeded helicopter, sorry. So it zooms, and within minutes they've reached his fortress. Now, at this point in time, they aren't saying anything about Latveria or anything like that. He's just, Dr. Doom who has a hidden fortress somewhere, or that's as far as we know. So once they get into his fortress, you can see he's sitting there on his throne. He's got Sue tied up, and he's got like a tiger as a pet. And basically what he wants to do is that, he is this amazing genius, and he has discovered a way to travel back in time. So he's basically invented a time machine, and that he wants the Thing, the Human Torch, and Mr. Fantastic to go back in time to the days of Blackbeard and steal his treasure chest, because inside the treasure chest there are gems that will help him rule the world, basically. And so with one press of a button, this yellow square, I guess, is the time machine. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, and they're gone. And when they resurface, they are certainly in a time from the past. And, it's... they realize they need some clothes. They see these guys that are fighting over a bundle of clothes. So the Thing goes over to, get the clothes and scare them off. And, they're scared. They think it's a demon. And they're happy because everybody can get some clothes. And you gotta love the way they dress the Thing up here. Just looks absolutely ridiculous, but that's okay. At any rate, they go to like a tavern or something like that, and they sit down, and they're just trying to figure out how they're gonna find Blackbeard and get this treasure. And so then guys from this other ship are they see that, oh, these guys would make a great addition to our crew, and they ask the bar wench they use the word. They ask the bar wench to slip something in their drink, which she does, and moments later they're all asleep, and they find themselves on a boat. The Thing is the first to wake up, and he realizes something is not right. Flip the page here, and then the Thing basically beats up the entire crew of this ship. And so then, Reed and Johnny stick their heads up from the undercarriage of the ship, I guess, wherever they were. And he says, Johnny, I feel sorry for those pirates. There's only a dozen of them against the Thing. And Johnny's response is, yeah, he's got them outnumbered. And so then you see Mr. Fantastic stretch all the way to the top of the boat to knock that guy out. Then we have a guy trying to attack Johnny. He flames on his hand and melts the guy's sword. So then, suddenly, you can see here there's another ship attacking, and they realize that this is Blackbeard's ship. But it's very far away. So, they're gonna need to get there, right? So the Human Torch obviously can fly, so he goes and does a fly around and to the other ship that's attacking, and then dives into the water on fire so that he can create smoke. Now once the smoke is there, that's the diversion that Reed needs, and he stretches himself across from boat to boat. And then the Thing rips off a piece of the boat. He needs something to swing with. And they all charge across Reed's back. And Reed's saying, hurry up, Thing, my back feels like it's breaking. Yeah, it probably doesn't feel too good. So they hop over onto the other ship. And they start to, fight a little bit. But very quickly, the people on the other ship realize that their missing captain is back, and it's Blackbeard. They think that the Thing is Blackbeard, and they say, "Hail, Blackbeard, scourge of the seven seas." And so they're confused as they've got the chest here. They're like, what are they talking about? And Reed says, "Good Lord, I see it now. The Thing is Blackbeard. He came back to find himself, came back to the past to find himself." That's a little bit of a stretch, but okay. And so then they're just like, hey, this treasure belongs to us. We don't even have to steal it. At which point they come up with the brilliant plan, or Reed does anyway, where basically what he's saying is that, we can't take this stuff. It belongs to the crew. So he goes to disperse. He said, we'll disperse the jewels, and we'll fill the trunk with the chain of chains from the boat, because Dr. Doom asked us to bring back the chest. He never said what had to be in the chest necessarily. So they do that, and they're getting ready to go back they have what they need, and it's almost time for Dr. Doom to pick them up. But then the Thing has, he's kind of decided he likes being the man in charge, and orders orders them to basically, detain Johnny and to wrap Reed up in a sail so he can't, stretch anywhere. And then they puts them on like a little lifeboat on the side of the ship, and looks like he's about to, he's gonna put them on the lifeboat onto the ship, and then, a tornado comes. The Twister is ahead. So the Twister knocks everyone around, although it does rip the sail off of Reed. Johnny's, he's sinking, I'm not sure if he can swim or not. I don't know if that's ever been established. But Reed reaches out and grabs him, gets him to safety. On the shore, they see the Thing has also washed up on the shore. He's very apologetic for his, his bad behavior. And also washing up is the trunk. So then, hey, all set, they're ready to go. And you can see here, Doom is ready to bring them back. They're standing there with the chest, and the yellow square comes down for them again. And then magically they are back onto the, back into Doom's castle. And, he's pleased. They brought him what he was supposed to bring. They got the chest for him. But he opens the chest and sees that, he's been tricked. And so now it's clobbering time. And the Thing goes after Doom, only to find out that this is just a robot. They haven't named them Doombots yet, but I guess this would be the first Doombot. And so then he sort of pops a screen down from the ceiling, telling them, he says, "Naturally I am in a hidden room above you, a room from which I shall now press a button, draining your chamber of all oxygen. Farewell, Fantastic Four." And so he does that. Sue realizes she needs to do something about this, although she is still tied up with her arms behind her back. But that doesn't mean that she can't turn herself invisible. And she goes over to the machine, and I guess she was watching when Dr. Doom, started the process, so she reverses it. And then runs away and escapes. And she says, she needs to find the others. Hopefully she gets there in time. She does. She, once again, with her hands tied behind her back, opens up the chamber and saves her husband and brother and friend Ben. And so now they have a problem, because Dr. Doom is not going to be happy. And so they want to make their escape. So we see here Reed ties his legs around the bars of the window and stretches out and grabs a rock, and then gets the Thing to basically push, and they pull a big section of the castle open. Now they're free. And this is the part that I find very, very strange. Johnny Storm says, "Here's something I've been wanting to try for months. By giving my flame the intensity of atomic heat, I can actually boil a section of the water away and fuse it to the ground, turning it into a glass-like substance." Now, I'm no scientist, but that sounds a little odd to me, but it works. And they have a little bridge over there to cross. From that point, he goes, Johnny Storm goes and flies around to make a ring of fire around Doom's castle. So with his palace on fire, Doom grabs one of his best inventions. He's got a jetpack, basically, a rocket-powered flying harness, as he calls it. And so he, thrusts himself out the window and takes off. The Human Torch tries to catch up to him, but he's growing weak. Too much strain that he's put on his flame-on powers, and so he flames off, and he falls down. Luckily, he's able to grab onto a tree here, and, Reed says, "We'll devote our lives to tracking them down. We can do no more." And then Thing says next time they'll handle it his way. Because, first they had the Submariner, and now Dr. Doom on the loose, and they want to know what's going to happen next. And that is the end of this particular story. A good one. First appearance of Dr. Doom. very cool book, one that I'm extremely proud to have. Cool story. It's just the beginning of the torment that Doctor Doom is going to, throw towards the FF's way. In the very next issue, he teams up with the evil Submariner to go after the FF. So thank you for joining me here on our second Fantastic Friday. And if you liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a message or something down below if you'd like in the comment section. And you can reach me over on Twitter at sonofthemorning7, and have yourself a wonderful day.